Hello students, Mr. Armstrong here, and welcome back to our second lesson about prepositional phrases. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at how prepositional phrases fit into the larger sentence. We're going to look at a whole bunch of different examples and take a look at how, if we remove the prepositional phrases, what we should have left over is still a complete sentence. What do I mean by that? Let's find out. Let's start with a very simple example. The dog rests on the bed. In this sentence, we have one prepositional phrase, on the bed. On is a preposition, and bed is the object of that preposition. Dog is the subject of that sentence, what the sentence is about. Rests is the verb in the sentence, or what the dog is doing. On the bed, like I said before, is the prepositional phrase. If we were to eliminate that prepositional phrase, what we have left over is still a complete sentence. The dog rests. It's not as interesting, it doesn't have as much information, but it is still technically a complete sentence. Let's take a look at another one. Bobby runs through the house. Once again, we just have one prepositional phrase in this sentence. Bobby is the subject of the sentence. Runs is the verb in the sentence, and through the house is the prepositional phrase. If we were to eliminate that prepositional phrase, what we have left is still a complete sentence. Bobby runs. Let's look at another one. During math class, I took notes. Once again, there's just one prepositional phrase in this sentence, but this time it comes at the beginning of the sentence. A prepositional phrase can actually fit in many different places in a sentence. In this sentence, during math class is our prepositional phrase, a prepositional phrase that talks about time, when something happens. I is the subject of the sentence, and took is the verb. If we were to, once again, eliminate the prepositional phrase, what we have left over is still a complete sentence. Let's see an example with more than one prepositional phrase. The girl with glasses sleds down the hill. In this sentence, we have two different prepositional phrases. Can you identify them? The first one is with glasses. With what? With glasses. That's one of those prepositional phrases that introduces an object. The second prepositional phrase is down the hill. This is a prepositional phrase that tells us the direction of something, where the girl is going. Down is the preposition, and hill is the object of that preposition. Down what? Hill. If we were to eliminate both of those prepositional phrases, what we have left over should still be a complete sentence, and it is. The girl sleds. It's a complete sentence without nearly as much detail, but it is still technically a complete sentence. Girl is the subject, what the sentence is about. Sleds is the verb, what the girl is doing. Let's look at another one. After school, I go to soccer practice with my best friend. This is the longest sentence we've seen so far, and it contains three prepositional phrases. Can you identify all three of them? The first one deals with time, after school. It introduces the idea of when this activity takes place. The second one is to soccer practice. This is a prepositional phrase that deals with direction. And finally, with my best friend. With who? With friend. Best is an adjective describing that friend. This is one of the prepositional phrases that introduces an object. Of course, we definitely don't consider our friends to be objects, except when we're dealing with grammar. And once again, if we were to eliminate all of the prepositional phrases, what we have left over should still be a complete sentence. After school is gone. To soccer practice is gone. With my best friend is gone. I go. We have a simple subject, we have a verb, We have a capital letter at the beginning of the sentence and end punctuation in the form of a period. It's a very simple and boring sentence, but technically it is a complete sentence. And so you're really starting to see how much detail and information prepositional phrases can add to a sentence. They help us explain and understand so much, which is why I really like prepositional phrases. Something else we should consider is the differences and similarities between prepositions and adverbs. Sometimes the exact same word can function as both, depending on how it's used in the sentence. Let's take a look at what I mean. Take a look at this example. He climbs up. If you consult any list of prepositions, you're definitely going to find the word up. Up can be a preposition. But a word is only a preposition if it's at the start of a prepositional phrase. And one word is not a phrase. A phrase, by definition, is more than one word. Plus, a prepositional phrase must end with a noun or pronoun, and there isn't one after the word up. And so in this instance, up is behaving as an adverb, modifying the verb climbs. If I was to add something to this sentence, though, the tree, now, instead of an adverb, we have a preposition and a prepositional phrase. Now we can answer the question, up what? Up the tree is a prepositional phrase. He is the subject of the sentence. Climbs is the verb. Take a look at another example. Sara walks out through the kitchen. This sentence contains one prepositional phrase. Can you find it? It's a little tricky because if you're consulting a list of prepositions, you might realize that there are two different words from the prepositions list in this sentence. Out can be a preposition, and through can be a preposition. Often, when we see two words that could be prepositions side by side, like in this example, the first one is modifying a verb. Out is an adverb, and the prepositional phrase is through the kitchen. So in review, number one, if prepositional phrases are eliminated from a sentence, what's left over should still be a complete sentence. You can draw a line right through a prepositional phrase, and if you read back what's left over, it should still be a complete thought, a complete sentence. Number two, prepositional phrases can be in any part of the sentence. They can be at the beginning, in the middle somewhere, or at the end. Number three, there can be multiple prepositional phrases in any single sentence. The examples we looked at today included 3 at the max, but sentences can contain quite a lot more. And lastly, it's only a prepositional phrase if the preposition word points to an object. Many words on the prepositions list can behave as adverbs. So just because it's on the preposition list doesn't mean it's actually behaving as a preposition. It must have an object of the preposition that it points to. Many of the words on that preposition list can also behave as adverbs, modifying a verb. And that's it. This is the conclusion of prepositional phrases in sentences. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Students, if you have any questions, you can ask me in our next class, or you could always post them in the comments below. Like and subscribe if that's the kind of thing you do, and I look forward to teaching you again very soon. Bye. Stay safe out there.